Hello, welcome to LMC and Knowledge, Lyrics Music Channel of spiritual insight and wisdom that I will share to you so you can take along your spiritual journey. I hope you're having a good day, good night, wherever you're at, and whenever you see this, make sure that you're prayed up and in that light of Jesus, okay? Okay. So, before we get into this message, I will use my shamanic drum to ground our energy, clear our space, and to bring in our spirit guides. We'll welcome in our spirit guides, okay? Even though they're with us already right now, but now I will make it official with the energy. So, here we go. Okay. So, for today, the intuitive message that I have for you is you are bonding with God more than ever at this time. Your bond with God is increasing as we speak, okay? So, with the cards that I'm going to bring out to you today, I'm going to show you God's energy and God pulling up this is his energy to you right now. So, first I want to start off with this one, though. He's telling me to wait. So, with the Knight of Cups, this is showing that it's progressing. Progression is coming through love, through God's unconditional love, and with you connecting to God every single day, with you praying to him, talking to him, it's building your bond with God stronger. You understood like the most valuable relationship in this world that was needed in your life was with God. You understood that if your relationship with God, if you didn't have a relationship with God, or your relationship was rocky with God, then it was going to be a domino effect to the people you surround yourself with. So if you're not stable with God, you're not stable in life, you know? When you're not bonding with God, you're truly not bonding with life, because life is God. So with that being said, it's like you grew. And like I said, this person is riding on a horse right now. So this person is still going. It's building. The love is building. I just seen 222 on the clock. But with that being said, it's like you could be single right now, or you could be still waiting for love. But as you're waiting for love, you are bonding with God, you know? You're not choosing to just bond with anybody in this life just because you feel alone, because you realize that you were never alone when God was with you, right? And it's like God's showing me, he's telling me to like tell you this, because I felt this way about God before. When I was in my dark night of the soul, I'm just like, how can I love God when I never seen him before? Or like I've seen like small little blessings, small little miracles, but nothing truly impacted me like with God until like I actually started to learn how to love God, or learn how to build a relationship with God. I didn't see how simple it was to reach out to God or to connect with God. Just as simple it is to call somebody else on the phone. But it's like when you connect with God, guess what? You're using your telepathic powers. You don't dial God's number. No, but you can tap into his energy at any time and at all times, right? So that just shows you already that you have a spiritual bond with God, and you have psychic abilities and powers, right? Because then I'm hearing somebody like, God will be like this, or, you know, God. It's like we all have different relationships with God, and God's not like this, hey, go, I'm healing you, and this is how. No, he communicates just as easily, and he has humor too. You know, God has all the emotions, right? God laughs too. God cries too. God feels you, right? He'll feel you more than anybody else be feeling. You know how people be like, you feel me? You feel me? No, God really feel you, and that's what you understood. So it's like you allow God to pour into you. You allow God to pour his love and light, his protection into you. You allow God to pour his knowledge into you. You allowed the Holy Spirit to work through you. You allowed yourself to be used by God, right? Because God was always this King of Cups, which is the highest, you know, the highest one in the deck, the major arcana. But it's literally like you have found love within God. And that's why this is who you are today. You didn't need a physical man or a human being or any human to show you, even though your children could show you a deep, deep part of love, a new aspect, a different side. But God shows the whole side. He shows the full side. He fills you up, right? And he'll never disappoint you. And that's what you realize. God doesn't disappoint me. What's not for me wasn't meant for me. And you know that rejection was protection for you. You don't blame God for anything. And it's like you reach out to God more than you've ever reached out to him, or you reach out to him more than the people around. You know how people try to say they close, or pastors are close with God and stuff, but they really ain't close how you think they are, right? And then you realize when you are bonding with God that it's just going to be an everlasting love, everlasting connection. It's just going to get deeper, deeper, and deeper and deeper. Like now God's showing me that song again. I think this is one of his favorite songs by his people. How I just seen 555. How deep is your love? I think it's by Hasley, or I don't know her name, but how deep is your love? He really loves that song because it's just showing that like it's eternal. Like how deep is your love? Is it deep as the ocean or Nirvana? And it's like I don't know all the lyrics of the song, but it's just like that's the song he was pointing me towards, and he wants you to listen to that song if you haven't listened to it, or listen to it again and feel his energy in that song is what I'm hearing. But it's like God has your back. He has your back, and he's fighting for you, and you understand that you don't have to fight. You put your sword down in situations, certain battles you couldn't fight, and God's like, look, I'm looking at this person like as God with all the swords, and you putting the swords down, even though this could be a different interpretation, but this is what I'm interpreting through this card with this specific reading. God saying, here, give me your swords. You can put them all down. You do not have to fight no battles, and you don't have to fight alone. You could just pray. That's you fighting. But I'm going to actually take that action, the physical action to poop on their party, or to raise hell, or to rage for you, because I don't want you doing the dirty work. You realize God does your dirty work for you. You ain't got to lift a finger. And it's like, you know that God made you, creates a happy home, creates a foundation. You bring God into your home. You bring God into your family, or you introduce God to your children or the people around you, younger people, and it makes them happier. It lifts them up. It's like your family loves when you speak about God, or your family loves this new side of you. And it's because you started to embody God's light and his love, right? At all times. So it's like your relationship with God is granting you and your bloodline ultimate protection, infinite protection, inevitable protection for your loved ones. You don't need to fear anymore. All you have to do is pray and say one word. You know how certain people reach out to God only when it's bad, instead of talking to him throughout your day, your life, throughout your daily life. Like people only want to talk to God on Sunday. People only want to talk to God when it's detrimental. Like it's so bad now. I have to reach out to God. And you realize you had to reach out to him during now. Like when things are just, life is just lifing, and it's not as bad as it was before. You understand that. It's like he looked at his people like, what happened to all the prayers? Like, as soon as I helped y'all out of this situation, it's like you started to talk less to me. You started to pray less. And you just, it's just like you got to maintain that relationship with God. And now that you're doing it, you're leading your family with God's light. The last card that we have is, yes, you are correct. You have listened to your inner guidance and made a wise choice. Keep moving forward. So it's like, now that you partner up with God, now that God's your best friend, your best man, your right hand, your backbone, it's like God can keep you up to date with life. Like he keeps you on your P's and Q's. He makes sure you cross your T's and dot your I's. Like he makes sure that you know when there's lies. He makes sure you know when you need to move, relocate. He makes you, like, you're allowing, now I'm hearing that song again, when I move, you move, just like that. So it's like you're moving to the beat of God. You're dancing to the beat of God, and you're listening to the voice of God, and it's allowing you to dodge a lot of pitfalls, a lot of bullets. You know, you're dodging the bullets of life with God. God will not let you get hurt. He will not let you be harmed, especially when you tapped in and you hooking onto his arm, like you right there, not letting go of his hand, his spiritual hand, right? But yeah, so it's gonna literally have you, like, people, God's gonna give you the tea. He gonna spill you the tea on the future. You're one of his prophets, is what I'm hearing, or you're one of his messengers. You're one of his vessels that he wants to use in this life to speak to his people, because you're very obedient. Now you have become so obedient with God. He's literally giving you everything you want. Yeah, it's going to take time, but it takes time to be obedient with God. It takes time to build a relationship with God. It takes time to love God, because especially when we don't know how to love him. And that was me. I didn't know how to love him. But when I realized how close he was, and when I realized I was never alone. I was never alone. Anytime you feel alone, that means you're not connecting with God. That's what you should tell other people around you if they feel alone or codependent. Nigga, I was going to say nigga. I'd rather be codependent to God any day, all day, forever. I'm codependent to God. Yes, I am. And that's a healthy codependency. So, yeah, and that's when God's going to give you his all. And now I'm hearing that John Legend song, give your all to me, I'll give my all to you. And that's what God's saying to you right now. But I love you guys, and I'll see you in my next video. Peace.